Hello, my beautiful plant people. How are we today? For those of you that have never met me before, I am Sam from Plant Collector Melbourne. And today we are doing an updated tour with my own personal collection here in the Grow Tent and some little goodies within the store and PCM. So without further ado, let's get into it. So, the Grow Tent is still in the, in progress stage. But in the meantime, I still really wanted to show you guys my personal collection and the plants that I have in here because they have been doing so well in the Grow Tent. Now that we've got the new humidifier and the heater, that I do really think that the plants are really enjoying it in here. Given, if I had my time again, I would get a bigger heater because currently it's small. But the plants are doing so much better than what they originally were. So, as you can see, this little section here is my own personal collection. We have bits and bobs on this side of the Grow Tent as well. That is my collection. And I guess everything else is like rehab plants or growing. So let's start off with my favorite section, shall we? So now you can get a proper view. And so we have here a forgetii hybrid that I got way back. And it's been one of my favorite hybrids because the actual sinus is really round, but you've got the beautiful crystal veining. I'm wondering if the light is not doing it justice, but it is super beautiful. And that one has died and come back to life many times. It's actually the trend with my plants, and I'm hoping that you guys can also relate with these plant stories, is that a lot of the plants have to go backwards before they go forwards. So that one is definitely one of these plants where I thought that we're going to die, but has come back to life. We also have here a Anthurium Angela, and you can see that it is crazy dark. I actually don't remember the heritage of it. I have an inkling that it has like a pappy dressy kind of vibe. I mean, just the darkness alone gives me that. It's a really great texture, color, and yeah, that one is doing a lot better now that it is in the Grow Tent. Moving along, next is the Anthurium, what is this called? Pandemonium, and this is from Chris from Plant Scar, and it is a Panamens cross with a Padres. And yeah, this has been doing super well now. So that's its newest leaf. I think when you guys would have seen it back in the day, it would have been this guy, and now he is getting really long, and the Panamens length, which is really cool. I reckon these two are one of my top favorites that I have. This is a Anthurium Punctatum, and it is just one of the best strap leaf anthuriums in my opinion, because we've seen a lot of like these beautiful things. So we've got Anthurium, over there is wendlingeri. So this guy is beautiful. Pallidiflorum, wendlingeri, they are, I think, the ones that everyone thinks about when they think of strappy or versicolor. And of course there's so many other ones, but this one I don't think a lot of people actually talk about, and I just think that the shape is really cool. The mid vein is so striking, and if you put your finger across it and go left to right, it really feels like super protruding. So this gets crazy beautiful as it gets older, and the newest leaf, so stunning. Not to discredit these guys, of course, I think that they're crazy beautiful, and we actually did a repot video not too long ago, which I shall link above, of repotting this guy as well as trying some sphagnum moss on the top, thanks to Chris from Plant Scar's recommendation. And I really and truly believe that this is a great way for the strap leaves to grow. I actually think that I'm going to be doing this with all of them. They've really enjoyed it, and a lot of the growth and area roots have been coming out, and that is why I've been able to get this incredible leaf. So if you go one leaf backwards, I mean, it's kind of hard to tell because it's cut, but I think it was about that length. And now this brand new leaf is just looking really great. So highly recommend. So far, so good. Moving along, this is just some sort of crazy hybrid that came through PCM, and I was like, look, I'm just going to keep you. You're staying in my basket. I couldn't tell you what it is besides like a crystallinum hybrid. You guys will definitely see that anything crystallinum I'm always a big fan of. So beautiful. The shape's really cool, very angular. I love it a lot. This guy is struggling. This is my warocqueanum that has been overwatered, and that is totally my fault. I think we're going to lose all the leaves, but it's okay because the stem's healthy, the roots are looking great. It's just the leaves. So might have to start that one all over again, but that's okay. This one, oh, this is one of my favorites, but my gosh, has it done nothing. So I received this, I don't think I had this in my last video, but I received this in December from Chris from Plantsca, and this is the one, the only Magma, which is a luxe cross with a pap dress, and it is the slowest thing I have ever experienced. We have a growth point. Finally, it's doing something. It was like what? December, Jan, Feb, March, April, May, and we're almost to June. About 5 months. 5 months of doing nothing. And I mean, I guess all plants have to have their acclimating stage, but really, I feel like that's only like a month, and then they figure it out. But this guy has not figured it out. Moving on, this is a super special plant that is close to my heart, and this one is related to two of my favorite growers that when I helped them in the greenhouse that they gifted to me, and I don't have the tag anymore, which is sadness, but can I remember what this was? No, I cannot. I think I've mentioned it before in like my personal collection with PCM, so maybe I have to take a look of what it was and what I said, but definitely a special plant, and we've got another growth point. We love it. Ooh, we have this weird guy. I totally don't know what this is. And this is the other leaf. Whoa, it's super bullate, and the shape is weird as heck. What are you? Lux cross pap cross crystal. Interesting. Whoa, that guy. Like, look at this sinus. What is that? It is some sort of frilly thing. Very lumpy and bumpy, and I'm guessing that's the luxurians part. Oh, we have a little guy over here. Oh, speaking of little guys, look, it is just such a strange shape. So I've been told that the fluid is actually like somewhat sweet, and I'm very, should I do some connoisseuring? Her face is like, don't do it. But I've never tried it. I've tried Hoya sap before, and that was delightful, but I've never tried that. Anyway, we have this guy here, which is a really round crystallinum hybrid that I got quite some time ago. It's got 2 huge leaves and a really crazy inflow that I probably should cut off. What else is in here? Well, oh, we've got some things that have fallen down. Oh my gosh, this is stunning. Oh, this is one crystal hybrid that I got from friends Haley and Jake, who originally got it from Robin. Wow, this totally needs a repot. I can't believe this was like sitting weird on the shelf, but that is spectacular. And on the tag, it's got a dark crystal hybrid, which is nice. Super lovely. You need to be seen more. And here, this one you guys wouldn't have seen because I actually got this after that video that we filmed of my personal collection. And this is a crystallinum species. There we go. And I have to read the tag. So this is a Anthurium crystallinum from J. Vannini that is called Antioquia from Colombia. And for the longest time, I thought there was no such thing as a crystal species in Australia. But hey, we do have them. And this one is really stunning. So we have a crystal species. Beautiful, beautiful. Do I want to move this guy? Maybe. Whoa, his leaves are going in every way direction-wise. And here we have our Regale Hybrid crossed with Complex Dark. And it is a very large grower, apparently, from my growers. That's what they said. So is this the newest leaf? That's the newest leaf. This one's better in my opinion. And also, if you guys have ever had a Regale in your life, they are fussy as heck. But having this Regale crossed with a hybrid is super easy to care for. But look, it's like bigger than my face. It's so wonderful. And let me move this guy. Actually, I kind of want to put him here for now. You can stay there. Just so that it's easier to get to these guys. And this one is wonderful. This one is actually a hybrid that Callum, Plants by Callum, has done. And it is, I believe that it was like a black sensation cross with a dark form Winnenbell crystallinum. And I'm really loving the shape of this guy. And if you look at the bark, he's got these genicular, I think that's what it's called, genicular bits, where it's just like this super hard part where it comes from the sinus and the petiole. And so that is like crazy hard. So yes, that one is a really cool hybrid. What else is in here? Oh, yes, true. I forgot that I had you. I don't know if you're in my personal collection. So this one is really cool. It is so dark. So this is a black NOID or NOID. And I got this one from Haley and Jake. And it's actually done a cool thing where it's actually popped. So that is, I think that's the second newest leaf. Look at the new leaves though. I hope that it captures how dark that is. That is like black. Stunning. And here is the little Bubba. And I'll go from this angle so you can see the little pop. And if you take a look at the abaxial, it's like burgundy. It is beautiful. And so with this guy, very similar to like other crystallinums, is that they've got these like pink margins as well. So it's dark, it's black, it's velvety with pink margins. Stunning, stunning, stunning. I should probably get rid of that pup so that they have more space. So moving down here, there are some really spectacular things that I wish to share with you. So we won't go through all of it, but I'll show you the best ones. And this guy was in a repotting, and I had so many people message me being like, Sam, what is that thing? This is a Midnight Velvet crossed with luxurians, but not all of them are made equal. This one is definitely like a grade A Midnight Velvet crossed luxurians because, as you guys know, Midnight Velvet is a very complex hybrid. I don't believe it's a cultivar yet. I hope that it is one day. It is a complex hybrid so that the genetics or the plants that the babies don't necessarily come out all the same. And so this one, as soon as I opened it, I was like, you are not leaving my site. You are coming into my collection. And you can see just how crazy, oil slick, dark, pebbly, all the delicious things. So that one is definitely one of my top 5 in my collection at the moment. Might be just because he's new, but he's still pretty stunning. Ooh, my Midnight Velvet. So this is a Midnight Velvet cross lux. Here is the Midnight Velvet, which is an absolute, I don't want to say words. It's a It is so difficult to grow, and I am not the only human that is having trouble growing midnight velvets. There is something about when they are so small that they go through cracking it, and then at some point they stop cracking it and then grow really big and beautiful. So I'm still in the cracking it stage. It's lost so many leaves, and I've had it for a very long time. I reckon like 2 years, and it's still doing this. And then moving here's the Lux. So here's the Lux. Here's the Midnight Velvet Hybrid, and here is the Mixed Hybrid, which I think is really cool. Here is a really beautiful, again, not equal hybrid. This is a forgetii crystallinum, and can you see the veining and the shape of that? It is ridiculous. Yeah, the overlap is just so cute. What else is really cool in here? Hybrid. This pap dress under the hanger, if you know what I'm talking about. That guy here. Pap dress. What is this? I don't know. What else is in here? That is interesting. No, I think I'm happy. I think I'm happy with just those, to be honest. And the rest are just some crazy hybrids that I love. Oh, I should show this one because it's dark and veiny. This forgetii hybrid that is just really cool. It's like spider veiny. And I think I got that one from Robin in Cairns when I was visiting. So that was really cool. Another really cool guy. Don't know what he is, just some crazy hybrid. Okay, moving to this side. Is there anything on here? Oh, this guy. So this guy here is a pap dress, and super duper long recovery on this guy is that it had root rot for so long, and it is only now that it has recovered, but the stem was huge. And I don't actually even remember how long it took to recuperate, but it is starting to finally come really spectacular. And if we look at the back, you can totally see how like bumpy, bullate it is. And the stem is red with lots and lots of different ridges. But yes, a very bullate, beautiful guy here. The other leaves, not so hot, but this leaf, beautiful. Okay, moving along. So these guys, not so much. Although, take a look at this beauty. This thing, every time that I come in the grow tent, it always captures my eye. And it is just so the best thing ever. It's so dark. The veins are so contrasting. It is the one, the only crystallinum that is PCM's logo. And not only does it hold a very special place in my heart, but it is just a spectacular plant. Like, if Leanne pans across the grow tent, there is not much that is as dark as that with the same contrast. Like, this guy is dark. The Angela is also dark, but this guy is really dark and with contrasting veins. So yeah, I love this guy. And he was in the greenhouse for ages, and I finally brought him here, and he seems to be doing a lot happier. I don't even know if he's gotten any new growth points. I mean, there's a really big caterpillar, but the roots on this thing is crazy. It's probably root bound, to be honest, so I probably at some point have to redo that. What else? What else is here? Oh, this guy, no matter what happens, he just holds such a special place in my heart. Wendlingeri. I think for me, it would be like punctatum, Wendlingeri, pallidiflorum in my eyes. And this guy I've had for such a long time. He is the straight Spadix form that is in Australia, so he's really cool. I actually had this guy in the greenhouse, and he hadn't put out a leaf in ages. But after bringing him into the grow tent, we have a new leaf, and I'm so excited. I can't wait to see how big it ends up getting. But I should definitely put more sphagnum moss on all of this part, maybe a repot. I mean, the roots look all right, but I think I want to put more sphagnum moss up here. But I think that this part is like the coolest thing for all of our international viewers, is that a lot of the wendlingeri overseas is the corkscrew or the curled Spadix form. And this one is the straight form. You can see that the spathe is like this gorgeous reddy purpley color. And even actually that, how do I show this? This part is all white, and then slowly is a gradient to like this purple maroony color. So that is super beautiful. It's done a little bit of a stunting thing, which is like, this is the third leaf back and it was super long and big. And then the next one came out and it was this. I think it got cold in the greenhouse. It was starting to get to colder temperatures and it kind of stunted its growth. But I'm hoping that this new leaf is gonna be longer and a stunner. Is this, I mean, yeah. This guy's a monster. So behind the crystallinum PCM1 is this crazy monstrosity, and he's just like a NOID with a wide sinus, and he's so cool. He's got so many leaves, they're huge, and the shape is wild. And that guy, he's as big as my torso. This is the newest leaf, which actually, now that I look at it, probably looks like burnt as well. So here's the biggest one, the newest one, I should say. We have my Anthurium veitchii, which I believe is a hybrid between, what do you call it, like the narrow form and the French form. And so you can see here that it's not quite like the French form where everything is like super folded and super wide. It's actually got a lot closer, and you can see, like, if you look at that leaf, oh my gosh, yeah, you're beautiful. That the veins and the abs are actually really a lot closer. So it's not a narrow form, but it's somewhere in between, which I think is really cool. This guy hasn't done anything for months, and I think it's because of the soil mix that it had, and also it wasn't getting enough light, and I probably burnt it with too much fertilizer at one point. So it's also gone through quite the struggle, but new leaf, and it looks great, and the new leaf looks purple, which is so cool. And I think like the French form veitchii, I think it's a French form, don't quote me, but I think that the new leaves actually come out green and like a lime color. So this one comes out purple, which is cool. This guy, he's not doing so great. And it's because this is a clary hybrid that was in a special individuals collection that I got from Win. And when I first got it, it was spectacular. And it had a huge inflow with lots of like clary hybrid seeds. It took ages, and the berries, oh my gosh, they were huge and orange. And I think that it just consumed so much of its energy that it was going backwards really quickly. And there were a lot of berries on that, I guess, inflow, thank you. So yeah, it's gone backwards for so long. And I'll definitely show you guys the seeds, because I want to do a video on seeds, since a lot of you ask about how they do it. So that's to come. Actually, should I go get them to show them? Yeah, all right, I'll go get it. So take a look at this. Mid-April is when Colin sowed the seeds while we were in Sydney, and then they have just gone absolutely bonkers. And I'm pretty certain that this is not normal, because I think that the rate of these and the size of these have just been outrageous. And if I put it on its side, you can see how tall the stems are. Like, they're reaching for so much light. And these are in a cabinet with great light. I wouldn't say it's not like this blinding light behind me, but still good light, and they're just so vigorous. And you can see here there is actually a hopeful variegated clary hybrid of some sort, and I'm hoping that the next leaf also does this. But you can see the shape is just so interesting. And these are the first leaves. I find that normally first leaves are like this size. but I guess that the seeds in general for clary are way bigger than normal seeds. So it makes sense. Also really big leaves. Okay, I'll put this over here for now. And moving along, speaking of claries, we also have this clary. So this is a non-TC clary, and ooh, she's a bit wet. And if you go way back to my very first video on YouTube, I repotted this, and this thing was incredible. It had like 4 or 5 leaves, stunning, and it has rotted. I can't even count the amount of times that it has rotted on me. But one of my favorites, and I don't think I would actually ever give up on it because it's got such a great shape. I love the veins, and they're just not the same as the TC claries that we have. Oh my gosh, look at this guy. This is such a weird, abnormal leaf, such a weird shape, and it's very like silvery. But this is what it originally looked like back in the day, which is really cool. So yeah, this guy has been on an absolute journey. Oh, another Planska plant, if I can get it down here. And put that one up. Okay. So this, my friends, is Wild Frost from Chris and Planska. And this is definitely one of my favorite plants because, of course, I love the crystal veining and the silveriness of it. So I don't actually remember what this is. It is a silver blush cross with something. I'm going to find it and we're going to put it down below. But we've got its first inflow, and this has really been a vigorous grower as well. So definitely on my top tier of the plants that I love. And if you look at those roots. Isn't it crazy? This, my friends, is the, what do you call this? It is the tree fern fiber effect. Anthurium love tree fern fiber. And I think it's one of the reasons why the seedlings have been doing so well is because that is like pure 100% tree fern fiber. And the anthuriums just love it. They just love it. And so I will put you back, my friend. Whee. Cool. You guys have seen this one in a repot and probably an unboxing, but this is a Anthurium versicolor, the biggest versicolor that has ever come through PCM. He's looking a bit not so great because I think it was the big transition from warmer climates to very cold climates that is like freaking it out. But yeah, hopefully that one will recover from transit. And the next two are ones from the greenhouse. I'll just try to So this is a hoffmannii hybrid, a red stem hoffmannii hybrid, and this is also one of my favorites. This was a clone. So this was a little pup off the big main one that I have in the greenhouse. And so if I show you the back, you can see the super red petioles and the red veins on the back. And you can probably hear all the water dripping. ASMR. So yes, this guy I know turns into really spectacular. What kills me though is that this one is looking more green than black. And the one that I gifted Tino is looking way darker and so much like unfathomably sexy. So I don't know what he's doing, but I think it may be to do with light. I'm not too sure, but his is like black as heck. So I don't know what's going on here, but anyway. And his is probably bigger than mine too. Next, growing environments are a thing. Okay, next one from the greenhouse is my Anthurium rotolanteai. Actually, no. Are they calling it something different? So, corrugated, pebbly, incredible goodness. He has seen better days, I'm not gonna lie. But he did have attack of like scale and thrips for a very long time as well. But I am never too worried because as long as it is managed, and the roots look great. The roots are phenomenal. You can see that there's some roots up here, and then all the roots around the pot too. So he's doing very well. I'm just waiting for it to have a new leaf. I wonder if I can see. Do you guys love doing this? Like taking off so that you can see. But yeah, we do have a new leaf coming and it's on the way. But yeah, it hasn't done anything for a while and it's probably just trying to get used to its new environment here, which I actually think that this is colder than the greenhouse, to be honest. So, but I hear that rotolanteum are actually can deal with cold better than other anthuriums, which is a surprise to me because all corrugated plants for me seem like too hard basket and really fussy, but this guy has never been fussy. It's just that he got attacked by pests. What else do I have to say? I actually really wanted to do a video on like top 5 or top 10 corrugated plants, so if you guys are interested in that, let me know. I've got a huge list of like 20 corrugated plants that I wish to show you guys, but we won't do the 20. We'll just keep it short and sweet. But yeah, I think that is everything in the tent that is mine. I'll do a quick scanneroo. I mean, there's also a purple mama. Yeah, there is a purple mama that I missed, which is just this guy over here. But it would not surprise me, now that it's getting to winter, that these leaves may or may not make it. I've said it on my channel before. Mammaratums do mammaratum tings during winter, and that is fungal. And I think it's to do with the really thin leaves, and they're really susceptible to infection. So I won't hold my breath, but there are a couple of them here. Oh, this guy's a great leaf, if I can carefully. Wee. And that's pretty much it for the tent. Now, shall we go outside? Let's now move on to the plants at the front of the store and ones that are my personal collection. So there's not much that is out here at the front, but this crazy Philodendron NOID is definitely one of my favorites. I think I've spoken about him on the channel a while, but he's got these beautiful abaxial red markings that kind of remind me of hoffmannii. And so I've had him for, how many years now? Maybe like 3 years? Yeah, and he was maybe just 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 leaves, and now it's just gone nuts. So he's definitely one of my favorite philos. We've got the big ties, so that's one. And that one I've had for about since 2020, I think, or 2019. So yeah, it's been about like 4, 5 years. This is not mine, but this is a really cool addition that Colin has brought in, and it is a whale fin, what do you call this? Sansevieria? Thank you, my Leanne. And I don't think I've ever seen one this big, and even just looking at it, I'm like, is it a whale fin? Because it's not as like, I don't know, I've only ever seen them really juvenile, but then you see this, like, look how incredible this fin is. And I remember back in the day where they would just be like this big, and it's just one of them, and they would go for like hundreds of dollars. And now look how big this thing is, and there's multiple. It's just wild. It is wild where the plant community goes. We've got another Thai constellation here, and don't tell the one at the front of the store, but I actually like this one better, purely because of the variegation. It's got a little bit of blockiness, it's got a lot of splashes. I think the one at the front is more like speckly, but this guy has like a bit of both. I wouldn't say it's like crazy variegation, but it's definitely a lot more manageable than if it had more variegation. But yeah, I think, what came first? I think that Monstera came first, and then this one second, in the grand scheme of things. Then we have the amazing Philodendron UPI, which definitely needs either a repot or a new pole because it's completely come off the grow pole. But yeah, how many leaves now? It's actually outrageous how many leaves it has. And it hasn't even gone to the top. But one of the easiest plants that I have had the joy of growing with. When I first got it, I think it was only 3 leaves. Pretty good size. And yeah, it's just gotten better and better with time. So that is definitely one of my favorite philodendrons. Of course, we've got all of the store stuff, but if I squeeze in here, my crystallinum, which I think is also magnificum. When I first bought it, they said it was just a crystallinum, but I'm pretty certain it's a crystallinum magnificum. It has gone through the absolute, I don't even know, climates. I would take it to all these events that were outside and it was like so cold, less than 10 degrees. And so it's definitely had its time of recuperating, but it just had like the biggest inflow, and I'm sure that it will come back looking beautiful. So he's really dark. I don't know if you can see that he's got such great texture, super velvety. The veining is so crystal. He's definitely one of my faves too. I don't think that there's anything else in the store. No, there is not. So that wraps up this week's video. Thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with me at PCM to look at all of my personal collection. If you guys are enjoying these like tour videos or looking at different people's collections, I will leave our playlist of tours up here. And let's chat down below. Give me a comment on what plant was your favorite and why. Make sure to like this video and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye! But anyway, let us move. Oh shit, Leanne, I have this whole bottom row. Do we still keep going or is that enough? Are you sure?